Today, on Be Something Wonderful, manifest so fast it's scary. Neville Goddard's Secret to the Law. I am your host, Tom Karen, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, good morning and welcome back to the studios of Be Something Wonderful. This video is centered around a few questions from one of you about the teachings of Neville Goddard. About what does Neville Goddard really mean by the idea feeling is the secret? Or in other words, feeling it real, feeling your desired outcome real. And the idea of his signature imaginal scene of imagining yourself climbing a ladder, feeling yourself climbing the ladder, that imaginal scene in a state akin to sleep. And then the other idea that he suggests, to say, I will not climb to the ladder, to affirm, I will not climb the ladder, in combination with that imaginal scene. This person wanted more clarification on all of those topics and how it relates to him manifesting what he wants, right? What's keeping him back from manifesting what he desires so fast that it's scary, like everybody talks about? Well, here's the thing. The only thing that keeps your desires from manifesting so fast that it's scary is your attachment to them. In other words, your attachment to your thoughts and feelings about them. Your attachment to your thought and feeling of an undesired outcome, that I am not going to be that person that I want to be. I'm not going to have that thing that I want to have. It's the fear of that thought and feeling. It's not the thought and feeling itself. Your thoughts and feelings are always changing. It's your attachment to that thought and feeling, wanting to get rid of it, not wanting to have it, right? That attachment to that idea, that fear of an undesired outcome, fear that you're not going to get what you want, or fear that you're going to end up with what you don't want. But hidden in the idea of Neville's teachings is the secret to detaching from that idea, attaching from the outcome, attaching from that thought and feeling that you're not going to get what you want. And I want to talk about that today. Remember, detachment or not being attached to your outcome doesn't mean to want it less. It doesn't mean it doesn't even mean about caring about it less. It's none of that. It's about releasing the idea, the fear of that thought and feeling of I am not that person that I want to be, or I can't have what I don't want to have. Releasing your fear of that thought and feeling, letting that be. Remember, your changing thoughts and feelings are not the secret to anything. We've talked about this many times. They're always changing. They're not the secret. What does Neville mean by that? Remember, they mean nothing, those changing thoughts and feelings. Like in the scene from The Chosen at the pool, the healing at the pool of Bethesda, where Jesus, your I am awareness, says to that paralyzed man, this pool means nothing. It does nothing. Those changing thoughts and feelings mean nothing. They do nothing. It's the feeling. What's the feeling that Neville's talking about? What's the secret? It's the feeling of conviction. It's feeling it real while allowing thoughts and feelings of I am not or I don't have to be there. They do nothing. They mean nothing. It's allowing them to be there, detaching. That's what detachment means. To just allow it to be, allow everything to be as it is, while focusing on what you want, on your desired end. Right? Neville Goddard gave us the secret to this, and that's what I want to unpack today. That's why his imaginal scene, his signature imaginal scene of imagining yourself climbing a ladder is so powerful, because he encourages you to feel it in your imagination. Feel the ladder. He's not talking about thinking positive thoughts and having positive feelings. He's saying having the feeling or the conviction of climbing that ladder. There's a difference, right? This is powerful today. And then he combines that with the idea, because he wanted to show us the power of your consciousness, the power of your imagination, the power of that greater creative medium, what we call your subconscious mind, to bring forth whatever you imagine and feel as real. And there's a lot more to that idea of when he says to say or affirm, I will not climb the ladder, which seems contrary to the idea of imagining yourself climbing a ladder. But we know the secrets of that greater consciousness now. And I'm going to talk about this today and more. So remember, feeling is the secret, not feelings, not emotions. Notice he said feeling is the secret, not feelings, not those changing feelings and those changing emotions that come from your changing thoughts and assumptions about who you are and about yourself and reality. It's not about them. Feeling it real is the secret. Manifesting your desires is the secret. is the secret to manifesting your desires scary fast, right? Trying to think and feel better thoughts is not the secret. It's not the secret to anything. It's being more aware of yourself as source. That when you feel it within, that sense of touch within, that sense of touching your desire in your imagination, that's your power. You capture the feeling of your desired outcome. You touch your imagined end. When you do, it is done. It must unfold as a physical experience now. It's law. That's where we're going to start today, but we're going to really unpack this idea like we never have before. So, as you capture the feeling of the state sought, you are relieved of all effort to make it so, for it already is so. Neville Goddard. As you capture the feeling, right? Not the feelings, not the changing emotions, but the feeling of fulfillment. Touching it within your imagination. That's why he encourages touch in the imaginal scenes, right? The state sought is your desired end. I am and have what I desire to be and have. That's the state sought. It's the feeling of relief or the release of the need to make it happen. Wow. It releases the need to make it happen. That's what's very powerful when he encourages you to affirm after imagining, I will climb the ladder. After feeling yourself climbing the ladder, you can just, if you're not familiar with that, it's all over, right? It's been all over internet, all over Google, but just Google it, right? You'll see it. But that feeling of climbing the ladder, it creates that feeling, that conviction. It's done now. You felt it real in your imagination. It must be there. That combined with the idea of him suggesting to affirm, I will not climb the ladder, provides the secret that Neville, it really is about what Neville didn't say about that idea of I will not climb the ladder. Clearly he wanted to demonstrate the power of your imagination, the power of that subconscious creative medium that brings forth all of your desires. That even when you consciously affirm I will not do it, it only hears climbing the ladder. It only knows climbing the ladder. Remember, it's an inclusive universe. Infinity is inclusive. It doesn't exclude anything. All that is doesn't exclude anything. So any notness is not, it means nothing. It doesn't pay attention to the notness. It pays attention to the content of the ladder. And you climb the ladder. That's part of it. I want to really unpack all the aspects of the brilliance of affirming I will not climb the ladder, right? Because the other part of that is that it releases the resistance, any resistance to an undesired outcome. So we're going to show this today and more. Remember, the feeling of relief, you release the need to make it happen. That's the true meaning of detachment. You're detached from the need, hear this, to make it so because it already is so. Wow. That's detachment. Right? It's not that you don't want it, that you're detached from it, that you're not thinking about it. You are, but you're no longer thinking about the lack of it. You're no longer attached to it. You don't have to make it happen. You felt it real. It's done. Wow, that's powerful. Let's keep going on. Neville Goddard demonstrates this when he tells the story of a man who lost his trousers. You probably remember this if you're really familiar with the Neville Goddard's teachings. This guy lost his trousers, just his trousers, not the coat, not the suit coat, but the trousers at the dry cleaners. his best and most expensive suit that felt so good to be in. He was beside himself, right? The dry cleaner searched the place 3 times with no sign of the pants. Neville's telling the story, right? We're summarizing it here. He didn't want to file a claim. The man didn't want to file a claim for the money. He didn't want the money. He wanted the pants, right? It was his suit. He loved that suit. He loved the way the suit felt on him. So instead of filing a claim, the next day while driving to and from his office, right, he felt it real. He captured the feeling of wearing those trousers. He felt the fabric of those trousers on his legs. He used his imaginary hands. He was driving, right? So he wasn't taking his hands. He was imagining himself, feeling the fabric in his imagination of those trousers. Feeling it real, in other words, right? Imagining it with his imaginary hands and fingers. Wow, that's powerful. The next day, the dry cleaner found his pants. They called his wife and said, hey, we found your pants. They were pinned to another customer's suit that was ready for delivery. Powerful, right? The next day, immediate, instant, scary fast. Then also, Neville tells the story of a woman out of a job, no money, needed everything. She didn't have a job. She didn't have a place to live. She was exhausted trying to imagine all that she wanted and needed. There were so many things. This is the question when questions come up about multiple desires, right? She needed so many things. So instead of being exhausted, trying to imagine all those little different things and those details, she instead captured the feeling. Here we are again, capturing the feeling of, isn't it wonderful? Isn't it wonderful? Isn't it wonderful that I have everything that I want and need? She captured that feeling. We're not talking about feelings or emotions. We're talking about the feeling of conviction, the feeling that isn't it wonderful? Something marvelous is happening to me now. That's what she said, right? This is the story he's telling. Right now. She captured the feeling that something marvelous is happening to me right now. She fell asleep to that imaginary feeling night after night for 2 months. Instead of trying to imagine every little thing, imagine the feeling. Feeling is the secret. Capture the feeling, not the feelings, not the emotions, but the feeling, right? And then a casual friend, night after night for 2 months, then a casual friend handed her a check for $25,000, knowing her story, right? That led to a mutual friend of theirs from the past who came into wealth, who became wealthy, decided to share his wealth with her. For 2 years, the next 2 years, she received a monthly check that took care of everything. She was able to buy everything that she wanted by capturing the feeling, by feeling it real. Wow, that's powerful. Related to this idea, which I talked about with this powerful creator who had questions around all this, related to this idea of feeling it real and touching your desired state and outcome in your imagination, as demonstrated by Neville Goddard's signature technique to climb the ladder, right? Neville talks about that as a way to understand your power, is to try climbing the ladder. Imagine yourself putting your hands on the ladder, feeling it real in your imagination, and then you end up climbing a ladder, right? Combined with that was Neville's suggestion to say, I will not climb the ladder, or what has become known in the Neville Goddard circles, or the manifesting circles, of the I am not technique. You see this all over YouTube sometimes, right? The I am not technique. And we've talked about it as well, right? But this is scary powerful. And it works and manifests scary fast on several levels. The level that Neville was sort of talking about or pointing to, and what Neville didn't say about this idea to affirm that. There are other implications that Neville didn't say or seem to imply, but that is implied, and I want to cover those today, right? So it's both what Neville said and didn't say about the idea of imagining yourself climbing a ladder. In other words, feeling it real in your imagination, and then consciously saying or affirming, I will not climb the ladder. Wow. It seems contrary, right? But let's go into why Neville might have suggested that, and what are the other implications of this powerful technique of I am not. Wow. Because we talk about I am so much, right? Well, it's the same. The first level is that it demonstrates the awesome power of your imagination, or what we call the subconscious mind, or the great I am, of which you are the center. You are the conscious center of that, right? You invoke that power consciously through your affirmations, through what you imagine, right? So through your imagination, feeling it real, the conviction of fulfillment that no matter how much you consciously affirm, I will not climb the ladder, no matter how much you say that and affirm that, you're climbing that ladder. Wow, that's powerful. It's done. That awareness, that awesome power of your subconscious mind. So in some ways, it's demonstrating how much infinitely more powerful that creative medium is than you trying to consciously affirm something. But remember, that greater consciousness might have all the power to bring it forth, but you direct it through your conscious mind. So there's a few things that are going on here. But remember, I will not climb the ladder. It's showing here. This is what Neville was trying to show, that when you imagine it, when you feel it real, it's done. No matter what you say. That's powerful. The second part of that is it demonstrates that unseen creative power of your subconscious mind, or your consciousness, that divine mind of which you are a center, is inclusive and only says yes to everything. So when you say, I will not climb the ladder, it's not paying attention to not. It's paying attention to you climbing the ladder. Remember, all that is all that is. It's inclusive. It only includes. It doesn't exclude anything. So it doesn't know notness. It doesn't know non-existence. Non-existence doesn't exist. Notness doesn't exist. There's only isness. So it includes or manifests whatever you put your attention on and whatever you feel real, whether you want it or not. Do you see it? You might be saying you don't want something, but it's putting its attention on that thing that you're saying you don't want, because it's inclusive. That's another part of why this I am not technique is so powerful on many levels, right? On many levels. This idea that it's an inclusive universe, that non-existence by definition means it doesn't exist. Non-existence doesn't exist. It's only ever about yes, right? It's only ever about what you're focused or put your attention on. And this brings us to the third point, or the third level of this, that it demonstrates the idea that whatever you give time, space, and attention to, you create as your experience. So when you say, I will not climb the ladder, you're putting your attention on the ladder, on climbing the ladder, because it's an inclusive universe. That's where your attention is, right? Even when we put our attention on what we want, but it's really on what we don't want, that's what creates that experience. This is powerful. So this, 3 of those levels there, and then as we go to this. And finally, what Neville didn't say about the I will not climb the ladder technique, that you release importance and resistance to your desired outcome. This is probably the biggest power of affirming I am not, or just declaring I am not. I'm not rich. I don't have my SP. She or he is not in love with me. When you remember, you release the resistance. You say, but what's the idea of that? Yeah, but I'm fulfilled anyway. Yeah, I don't have $1 million, but I'm fulfilled. I don't need it. My SP doesn't love me, but I'm love itself, so I don't need it. That's the power. You release importance and resistance to your desired outcome. You detach from the idea that you need it to be fulfilled. You feel fulfillment and conviction here and now. Here's what Neville didn't say about resistance, right? When you resist evil, you give it your attention and you continue to make it real. So a lot of people go, well, Neville Goddard never talked about releasing resistance or importance or any of that stuff. But he did talk about that. He says it right here. When you resist evil, you give it to your attention. You continue to make it real. Wow. And do you see it? When you focus on that, you give it reality. You make it real. And remember, God will not be mocked. So some of you might say, okay, then I'll just declare that I am not something and I don't want something, and then I'll have it. Well, yes, that's the power, but what are you really feeling real? Right? Within, what are you really feeling real? That's what matters. Right? So when you decide that I'm fulfilled anyway, I'm not that person I desire, I am not that person I desire to be. I don't have that money. Or I don't have that SP. You release resistance because you know you don't need it. You don't have to have it. Now you're feeling it real. You're feeling the fulfillment real within. Then everything must be added to you. When you resist evil, in other words, when you resist the idea of I am not, or I will not, or I don't have, you give it your attention and you continue to make it real. That's what Neville Goddard said about resistance, right? It's not the idea of I am not or I will not that's ever the problem. That's not the problem. It's simply another alternative parallel reality or possibility. So it's not that idea that I am not or I will not or I don't have what I want. That's the problem. That's simply another possibility, another parallel alternative reality, meaning that you don't have that, but you have something else. That you're not that, but you're something else. That's all that's saying. It's our resistance to it that creates that resistance or fear or undesired state, right? This is powerful. So it's your resistance to it that makes it real, solid in your reality. As the Magician's Way states in the book, The Magician's Way, fear is resistance to a negative outcome. That you resist the idea of I am not. The thought or assumption that you won't get what you want or that you will end up with what you don't want. It's not the thought itself that's the problem. It's your resistance to it. It's your fear of that undesired outcome that you're going to end up with what you don't want, or you're not going to get what you want, or you're going to end up with what you don't want. It's not the thought or assumption that's ever the problem. It's the fear you create around it by resisting it, by trying to control it, by trying to get rid of it, by trying to say it should not exist, right? Or that fear of not to feel it, right? So imagine it. Touch your desired end. Feel it real. Then allow the idea or the potential of I am not or I will not be there. Feel it real. Climb that ladder. Feel that ladder or feel that desired end within. It's not the feelings and emotions, right? Those are the things that are created with that idea about that thought. So it's not the thought itself, it's the fear of having the thought. Let it be there. And then feel it real anyway. This is powerful. Trying to control it or get rid of it is what creates that attachment to that desired outcome. So, yeah, I want lots of money, but I don't have lots of money. But I imagine I do. Try this. This is what we talked about. This person's doing this now, and I'm already got they sent an email early this morning about they're having fun with this, right? I don't have lots of money, but I imagine I do. But I imagine I do. It's a complete and absolute release of resistance. You're acknowledging the possibility of not having lots of money, but I imagine I do, and what I imagine I feel is real, and that's reality, so I must have it, right? Your attention is on lots of money, that greater inclusiveness of your consciousness. It's not on the don't, it's on the money. Infinity, all that is, excludes nothing. Do you see the power there? Capture the feeling and relief that I don't need it to be fulfilled. That's what it creates. I'm not a millionaire. I'm not healthy. I'm not in love, but I imagine I am. Wow. Hear the power here. I'm not healthy. I'm not in love, but I imagine I am. And what I imagine, I feel as real, and that's reality. And it's an inclusive universe. So that million, that health, that love must be there. Wow. It's a complete and absolute detachment from the desired outcome, combined with the imaginal scene of feeling it real. That's how you manifest so fast it's scary. That's Neville Goddard's secret to the law. I am your host, Tom Karen, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, thank you. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for liking and sharing and commenting on our videos. Thank you for being part of our Facebook group, The Ambassadors, at facebook.com/groups/Be Something Wonderful, for joining us on Instagram and Twitter at Tom Karen, TikTok at Be Something Wonderful, and for being part of the membership channel. If you're a member, in just under an hour, we're going to go live right here from the studios of Be Something Wonderful, Sunday morning here, September 29th, 2024 at 9 a.m. Pacific time. By the time you watch this video, it will probably be over. But hopefully you'll get to watch. If you're a member, join us. If you're not a member, join us. Check out the link below. The questions you've been sending to info@besomethingwonderful.com, we're going to answer. Plus, we're going to start with answering your questions right on the live chat, right on the event. Creators, with great love, with great light and infinite gratitude, this is Tom Karen here in the studios of Be Something Wonderful. Until next time, we will see you soon.